Hi guys, I've coined a phrase that may come back to haunt me or may go mainstream. The Farage Paradox. What is it? The Reform UK leader has been desperately trying to get more and more media attention before entering the election campaign and during it. However, the more spotlight that is shone on the former Brexit Party leader, the more his brand of politics will be on display. Now, this will go down well with his supporters, but it does run the risk of turning off people who don't know the Reform leader very well. And while some believe Farage's entry into the fray was late in the day, he may hit a ceiling sometime soon, which could not only dent his chances of winning numerous seats, but his own in Clacton. Commentator Tim Montgomerie implies here that Farage's support may have been a blip.
Look, that figure of 72, I mean, that sounds unbelievable to me, but could it happen?
Anything could happen in a campaign, Aisha, where a Conservative Prime Minister leaves the D-Day ceremony early. You know, if I could have predicted, the kind of the worst thing that a Conservative Prime Minister could do at a time supposedly when older voters are the target constituency, anything could happen. The only thing that gives me some reassurance is John may remember better because it was for Sky News, but there was an MRP poll at the start of the campaign, which was taken before Nigel Farage had entered the race, and that had the Tories about this number as well. So, if anything, there'll be some Tory relief. We aren't even lower than 72 seats. It was about that, and I think a Sky YouGov MRP poll from 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
Which is very interesting if it's true, because it would suggest that while Farage is damaging the Conservative brand and he's taking votes away from them, it's not doing the type of damage that he's hoping it would be doing. And it's not fulfilling this prophecy that Farage entering would cost the Conservatives up to 90 seats. Now, of course, this is all speculation. But what I want to do is go back before the Farage entering the fray and before Rishi Sunak launched the election campaign. Because if we go back to the by-elections, Reform UK were expected to do well according to polling for the by-elections, but didn't. Meaning the predictions were wrong, and this could be the case also for the general election too. Now, it's important not to use the by-elections as a barometer for the general election, but is the support that people are presenting, at the door, on the doorstep for Reform UK real support? Because with the by-elections, it turned out to be false. It could also be the case for the general election. Now, Farage could rally support behind him, but he could also rally support against him. And tactical voting could end up helping the Tories in some way, helping to see off or reject Reform UK instead of actually rallying support around them. And this all depends on whether the Labour Party and the Tories do a deal, not a formal pact, of course, but do some sort of behind-the-scenes deal to deal with the problem of Farage, ignore him during the debates, or challenge him on things that they know he's weak on. So you could see the Conservatives and Labour Party teaming up, in a sense, in an informal way to attack Farage. Because maybe they realise that once the spotlight is shone on him enough, he falls apart. Or his brand of politics turns off enough people. Now, they could work, as I said, directly or indirectly in respect to this. Farage could also be running out of steam with just a few weeks to go, because he's done really well in the debates, but this is according to his supporters, but not so much to the average voter. There's talk of Reform winning 7 seats in the House of Commons, but there are still a few weeks to go. Now, Reform UK supporters believe the sky's the limit, that number will increase. But as was pointed out here by Tim Montgomerie, well, the Conservatives are sort of back to where they were, if the polling is correct, back to where they were before Farage entered. So Farage's impact may be limited. Now, while some people may tell the pollsters that they will vote for Reform, this may not happen on the day of the vote, as I said before. Farage could be just a paper candidate who will burn when exposed to too much light. And he represents a position to the right of the Conservative Party, a party that is extremely right at the moment. And is there a real appetite for this type of politics outside the social media sphere? I don't think so. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.